Hello, it's Lucy Kane from Time and Leisure magazine, and today I've got Adrian Mills, who is the chair of Wimbledon Business Association, who's going to talk to us today about what's happening in Wimbledon Village and which businesses are opening up and what we can expect to find if we pop up to the village. So, Adrian, hello, how are you?
Good to see you, Lucy. After all this time, as you can see, I've gone for the grey beard during lockdown. So
yeah, I'm loving the lockdown beard. It's a look, isn't it?
Get those hairdressers and barbers open.
We need them open. We desperately need them open. What's happening in the village at the moment?
Well, it's been really interesting because on Monday, there was that sort of sense of anticipation as to what was going to happen. And then shops began to open. And there was one lady who owns one of the clothes shops. And she said to me, Adrian, I don't care if only one person comes in today. She said, I am just so thrilled to be able to put the key in the door and open up after, 10, 12 weeks now. And that's been the amazing thing, though. I've never seen, funnily enough, so many people in Wimbledon Village during a period where we're all supposed to be in lockdown. And for the simple reason, when you've got Wimbledon Common just literally 100 yards from the village, people have been using it for their exercising, they've been using it for their dog walking. And actually, what's been really good to see is that a lot of the shops, a lot of the independent shops, have managed to stay open by serving perhaps tea, coffee, a sandwich through the doors, social distancing, obviously, keeping you 2 meters apart. So there has been a sense of life and vibrancy in the village, even though it's been closed down. And hopefully now that will just expand even more.
So it sounds like businesses have been really innovative and really kind of keen to stay in touch with their customers and really help during that really difficult time of lockdown. But actually the village is
very true. Yeah, I mean, what's been interesting is I met one or two sort of customers of the village, if you like, perhaps residents or people that pop up every now and then. And they said some of the shops have even phoned them individually and said, hi, this is so-and-so, are you all right? We hope we'll be seeing you in the future. And I thought, wow, that's actually quite nice, because some people perhaps living on their own, there's been that little bit of social contact. But what's been interesting as well, it's not just been, one or two coffee shops selling coffee. Some of the, restaurants, so to speak, have thought, actually, we don't want to miss out on this. Perhaps we can provide a service. And I've never seen so many sort of, Deliveroo and Just Eat motorbikes zooming up and down. So people are obviously eating quite well. But it has been a team effort, because it's been, the stores such as Tesco, Bed5, and sort of little shops that have all remained open, just providing food and drink for people evening and during the day, and people have congregated, not in massive, but they've all sort of come up here because there's a lovely atmosphere. The weather, as you well know, has been incredible for the last sort of 8 to 9 weeks, and now we just hope, and I think it will happen, that people will come back with that reassurance that the shops are prepared for them, that they're going to be welcomed, and having experienced it maybe for many times or perhaps for the first time in lockdown, they're going to come back and go, I've got a good memory of coming to Wimbledon Village and I can't wait to return.
So it sounds like the independent businesses have really gone above and beyond to look after their regular customers. And then as they're opening up now, they're just desperate to be able
it's been
to get people back in the store and helping them. I'm sure we're all desperate, aren't we, to kind of, like you say, get a haircut, get some summer wardrobe, and just get back out into shopping again. So what my question is, this week, which new businesses have you seen opening up? What could somebody expect if they come up to the village this weekend?
All right, if you came into the village, you would probably be surprised to find nearly everywhere is open. And just to give you a little example, you mentioned an independent, Boho Beach Fest, beautiful dress shop in the village, selling mainly, summer frocks and everything. I met the owner the other day, and she said, I think I've discovered a new side of my business here. It's almost bespoke by the fact that people are making appointments. And in fact, my friend just down the road has got 2 girlfriends. They're going together, 3. She said, I probably can't cope with more than 3 in the shop at any one time, but they've made an appointment at 4 o'clock on Wednesday, and they're going to be allowed to have a wander around the shop and just to see what they want. So people have adapted and they've changed. But literally, I promise you, the only things that you won't find open, obviously the pubs like the Dog and Fox, the Rose and Crown, Common Room, and Common and most, taking me back a few years, the fire stables, they are not opening yet. And I suspect, from what I'm hearing from Youngs, who own all the pubs, it probably won't happen until around about the 3rd of August. They want to get it 100% right, and you can understand that. The restaurants, well, we're still waiting to hear from the government as to when restaurants will be able to open, and there is at the moment that real problem with that 2-meter distancing. That's very difficult in a restaurant. It's not going to work for a lot of people, and in particular the very small ones where maybe they've only got 20 seats. If you had to reduce capacity, then you have to worry about whether they're going to open. A couple of places have been saved. Le Pan was in a bit of financial trouble because they've got sites all over London in highly expensive areas, but they've survived, so that's good to hear. Carluccio's was bought out by another company, but they're coming back as Carluccio's. The only casualty, sad to say, is Cath Kidston, but they were looking to sell before this happened. So thankfully, touch wood, all the independents, all the big players, you know, the Gales, the Pauls, people like that, are all there. They're all open. Yes, it is a different shopping experience, but like everything, it will change. As my 90-year-old mother up in Liverpool always says, you know, this day will pass and we will eventually revert back to what we probably know.
Very wise words from your 90-year-old mother.
Never doubt it.
So really interesting that the message really is everywhere is open in Wimbledon Village. You can come up, you can have your coffee, you can have a takeaway, you can have, you can get shopping, you can, and then as the summer progresses, hopefully we'll be able to come up and have a meal, pop into Tycho, and
you know, what's really funny, you should even say that. I was standing outside my wife's restaurant the other day. There was a German couple, and they said, we've been in lockdown here now for 4 months, and we love Thai food, and we walked past it, and remember we met you here a few years ago. My, how you've aged with that beard. Oh. So I think I might have to shave, actually.
Well, no, I can't say that you've aged. I think you're looking absolutely fabulous. I think lockdown has done wonders for you, as I think it has done for lots of people.
I think it's made people reevaluate perhaps how they want to run their business in the future, how they want to run their life, and it's just given people an example as to, you know, a different aspect of what we've all taken for granted, and maybe that's not the right thing for you. So it's given us thinking time, if nothing else.
Local is even more important, isn't it, during lockdown, and having really good independent shops and good service. That's what we really want these days.
I tell you, I'd like to think Wimbledon Village does give you a really good level of service. And what I think is very important, it's the old phrase about, you know, use it or lose it. Well, it's never been truer than at this moment in time. And I suspect a lot of people who are still pretty scared about a virus that we still are really not on top of, don't perhaps want to venture into Oxford Street and places like that. And actually, I've seen people shopping that say, I never used to come to the village. I've really enjoyed this experience in lockdown, and I can't wait till it's all over, and I'll be here on a regular basis. And that's what we need, everybody, because the rents, the rates, you know, everything is still, you know, expensive as years go on. And anybody that can come and spend a few pounds in the village, that just helps so many independent retailers.
The message is stay safe, stay local, everywhere is open, come to the village.
Yeah, absolutely. Come now. I'll see you in the village this afternoon.
Brilliant. We look forward to seeing you for coffee. I'm sure, you know, we often see you wandering around in the village, so when we're up and about. So yes, keep an eye out for Adrian when you're up there shopping. Thank you very much, Adrian. It's super to catch up with you. And
it's a pleasure to talk to you, Lucy. And I look forward to seeing your time and leisure readers up in the village.
Brilliant. Cheers. All the best. Bye.
Bye.